So have you ever heard of this thing called quantum healing? It's kind of all over the wellness world right now. It promises these huge, life-changing transformations by tapping into your past lives and something they call a higher self. But as you might guess, there's a big debate raging just beneath the surface. So let's dig in and see what's really going on here. It really all starts with stories like this one. This is from a user on Reddit talking about their experience with something called Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique, or QHHT. And you can just feel the disappointment, right? They said they felt this pressure to see things that just weren't there. And they walked away wondering, was it me or was the whole thing just off? And this is a big reason why they felt so let down. $400 for a single session. And that's pretty standard, believe it or not. We're talking about a serious financial commitment, often from people who are in a really vulnerable place, just looking for help. So that brings us to the big question we're going to tackle. Are we looking at some kind of revolutionary new therapy here, a new path to wellness, or is it a really elaborate system designed to take money from people who are desperate for answers? Let's follow the evidence and find out. Okay, first things first, we have to understand the promise. What is it that quantum healing and its most popular version, QHHT, actually claim they can do for you? What's the product here? So QHHT was developed by a woman named Dolores Cannon. And the basic idea is this. A practitioner guides you into the super deep trance state to connect with your subconscious. They call it the higher self. The claim is that this part of you knows everything and can heal all your problems, sometimes by digging up traumas from your supposed past lives. And this quote? This is a perfect example of the kind of language they use. It's from a company called Time Waver. You hear stuff like energetic signatures, information fields, and pulses of corrective information. It sounds incredibly scientific, right? Very complex. And honestly, that's the whole point. So let's do that. Let's deconstruct that jargon. How does all this scientific-sounding language actually hold up when you compare it to, actual science? Well, this is where the entire concept really starts to unravel. Here it is. This is the fundamental problem. Real quantum mechanics is the physics of the incredibly small. We're talking about the bizarre world of subatomic particles. Quantum healing just kind of borrows those terms and slaps them onto the human body. It claims you can control these fields with just your mind. It's a total misapplication of the science. It's like using a recipe for a cake to try and build a car. Yeah, the thing is, this whole idea completely ignores basic physics. As one biochemist put it, the quantum effects they're talking about just don't happen in our warm, messy, complex human bodies. To see those effects, you need extreme lab conditions, like a perfect vacuum at temperatures colder than deep space. You can't just have a quantum leap in your therapist's office. And, this isn't just a harmless fantasy. The physicist Brian Cox makes a great point here. When you misuse scientific terms like this, it actively harms the public's understanding of what real science is. It can even make people turn away from medicine that's actually proven to work. Okay, so if the science is shaky at best, then what's driving all this? Why is it so popular? Well, as it so often does, the answer comes down to money. A lot of money. And here's the real twist in the business model. The main way they make money isn't just from those one-on-one sessions with clients. No, it's from recruiting new practitioners and charging them thousands and thousands of dollars for training courses. So the product isn't just healing anymore. It's the promise of a brand new, lucrative career. Just look at these numbers. We pulled them right from QHHT's own support page. A level 1 online course, that'll be about $1,000. By the time you get to levels 2 and 3, you're shelling out thousands more. And what's the bait on the hook? The promise of a 6-figure income. They are literally selling a dream that's paid for by the dreamers themselves. So when you look at that business model, does it remind you of anything? Some critics have compared it to a Ponzi scheme. Think about it. New recruits pay these huge fees for training. That money flows up to the top of the organization. The whole system depends on a constant stream of new people paying to get in, all chasing a dream that requires them to, you guessed it, recruit even more people. But this isn't just a financial thing. The damage goes way beyond an empty bank account. The sources we looked at point to some really serious risks to people's physical health and their psychological well-being. And this is where things get really dangerous. You have people who start to believe that QHHT can cure diseases like cancer or AIDS, so they might stop their conventional medical treatments. that can be fatal. On top of that, this whole past life regression thing is incredibly risky. It can actually implant false traumatic memories into people's minds, causing very real psychological damage. Now, let's be super clear about something. This is not an attack on all hypnotherapy. Not at all. Legitimate, evidence-based hypnotherapy is a real tool. It's backed by actual scientific studies for helping with things like IBS and chronic pain. The problem is when these practitioners make these wild, unproven claims and wander into really dangerous territory, like digging for past lives.
So, we've looked at the claims, the science, the business model, the potential for harm. What's the big takeaway here? How can you spot these kinds of things and protect yourself?
Well, the good news is that most of these pseudoscientific scams have a few things in common. There are some classic warning signs you can learn to look for. Let's run through a quick checklist. Okay, here we go. Number 1, listen for those sciencey sounding buzzwords being used in a really vague way. Words like quantum, frequency, vibration. Number 2, be really skeptical of anyone who promises to cure everything, especially major diseases. Number 3, if the main focus seems to be selling you expensive training courses promising a 6-figure income, huge red flag. And finally, number 4, always ask for the data, the peer-reviewed studies, not just emotional testimonials. So, at the end of the day, when you come across these amazing promises, the question you have to ask yourself is simple. Is this really about healing, or is it about hustling? Because based on everything we've seen today, in the world of quantum healing, that line is blurry at best.